Okay, we're in Lawrence County, Alabama today. We've got some dead pine trees. We are fortunate enough to have a crew thinning, and you notice these new spots, probably a week to 2 weeks old, and have the small pitch tubes covering the tree. Lots of needles on the ground, including frass. And because it's in a spot, our automatic assumption is southern pine beetle, which we have not had since 1999 and 2000, maybe a little in 2001, but it's been a while. So that's the original diagnosis, but I pulled some bark off of a tree, and those galleries, which lead to little pitch tubes, small little pitch tubes, those galleries are not southern pine beetle. Just based on the size that I see, they're Deodar weevil. And perhaps here's one that may actually have some Ips beetle. See, the bark's still too tight to tear. No. The size of that, width of these are much larger than southern pine beetle and Ips. So I come to the conclusion that there may be a complex here. There may be multiple factors that kill the tree, including, I can't tell if that is an S-shaped gallery or not. If it's S-shaped, that's a telltale sign of southern pine beetle. Ips tend to run straight lines or Ys, or maybe an H-shaped gallery. You can see the little pitch tubes right here. I may have something encased in it. I'll look at that in a little more detail in just a minute, but we've got several acres here. If you do the typical southern pine beetle control, where you find the most recently infested trees, usually those are the green ones, not the bronze ones, and you go downwind to cut a buffer that's at least the length of the height of the trees, that's your best method of controlling southern pine beetle. Doesn't always work, but it's relatively successful. Then you got to decide on these small patches of pine, do you have enough of a stand remaining to manage as a stand? The good news is we have a logger on site with loads that can move this wood. So we're fortunate there despite the mortality. Anyway, just some of those decisions that landowners and foresters have to confer and decide what's the best course of action.